YouTube at every Thursday, lumalabas ito at 8 p.m. At ngayon, advance nga lang ito. Kaya sana ma-share nyo ha, para mapanood nating lahat yung susunod na episode tomorrow. So, next.
And hello po, hindi po ako nakapagbate.
Ayun.
Hello. Thank you for coming, guys. Kahit sobrang traffic. Traffic din po ba kayo? Buti nga nakaabot kayo sa screening eh. Hindi na eh. Onti na lang, hindi na ako aabot sa screening. But thank you for coming, guys. Thank you very much.
Siyempre, buhay ka today, kaya pumunta talaga sila. Oo. So, but, thank you. Miss Malu,
Patay na po ako.
oo nga eh.
Episode 1.
Actually, sino dito ang nakapanood hindi nakapanood ng episode 1 and 2? Hindi naman po kayo palalabasin ng theater. Okay. Sige, para sa benefit ng hindi nakapanood pa ng episode 1 and 2, could you run us through your character, Miss Malu?
Okay, I'm Malu. I play Aling Lydia. Ako ang assistant sa simbahan ni Father Tom. Ako ang tiyahin ni Kiko na una hindi tumulong sa kanya at pinalayas siya dahil ayokong madamay. Dahil ginudge ko yung tatay niya na addict yung tatay niya, so malamang yung anak addict din. Pero I'd like to believe na kahit parang puwing lang yung liit ng role ni Lydia, nakakapuwing pa rin siya. At hanggang sa dulo, binaril ako noon yung nasa dulo, si Mickey. Isang addict din. Yun. Pero kung hindi, kung wala yung compassion ni Lydia, hindi tutuloy yung episode 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pero yun lang, parang gusto ko lang sabihin din sa lahat, I see a lot of young people here sa audience and I will not allow this night to pass na kahit in our own little way, kahit puwing lang tayo, we have to be compassionate for the truth. Yeah, it's not too late to speak up. Oh, haba ako na.
Oh, hindi. But thank you for also speaking up. Ano yung natutunan nyo kay Lydia na who taught you about the people and families who actually have to live through these kinds of circumstances?
Yun. That no matter what our role is, watching episode 3, I am sure you saw yourself in the episode. Anak ka na kailangan mo bang hintayin na mamatay ka katulad ni Kiko sa last minute tsaka mo hahanapin yung katotohanan. May nakita ko dito mga nanay, yung addiction is not solely drug addiction, pero do we give time to our children or we wait before it's too late na ibuburol na sila and kailangan pang i-autopsy. Watching episode 3, parang yung nakuha ko lang is lalaban ka hanggat kaya mo. Si Miggy nga, binaril na, tumayo pa rin. For truth. Si John Arcilla, kahit na akala mo kung umasta, parang ang laki-laki kahit yung mga pulis. Diba? Power trip lang sila. Pero, are they really fighting for truth? I am sure, deep in their hearts, alam nila that what they're doing is wrong. And hihintayin ba nila na mamatay din sila? Ganda lang nung atake ni Ian Veneracion na amidst the noise, all the violence, yung mga dugo, etc. Sabi niya, I'm not fighting that way. I want to fight na ano, and pari pa siya, so akala natin holy, di ba? So yun, so sana, it's never too late to reach out to our children. It's never too late to reach out to our parents. Huwag natin hintayin na may sisiw na tayo sa ibabaw and it's too late to speak up.
Thank you, Ms. Manu. And lastly, Miggy, as Reb, ano yung natutunan mo sa klaseng tao ni Reb living through that kind of reality?
Yes, hello, good evening. Pero before I start, I just want to say fuck that peanut butter. Direct, sorry, pero fuck that. Sabi ko talaga, favorite ko yung peanut butter, pero like, umay na. So, I hate it now. Anyway, share ko lang, fun fact. Para medyo mag-lighten up naman yung mood natin a bit. But yeah, so apparently, like, ngayon ko lang din nalaman na true story yung situation ni Reb nung bumangon siya with the second chance of life. Na based on, it's crazy. I mean, that's so crazy. Parang ngayon na tapos ko nang gawin yung eksena at napanood ko yung final output, parang, I don't know, like I'm speechless. Like, kasi for me, too much na yung, it's already like, I'm really grateful as an actor to portray and to embody a character like Reb, na who could be just anyone na we see on a daily basis, that we don't even care about, honestly. And with Reb, he's just a kid, honestly. Yun yung thought process ko habang ginagawa yung mga scenes ko. He's just a kid na walang gumagabay, and at the same time who looks for comfort and who looks for friends and stuff. So it's more of the anxiety playing around, especially like physically. Mentally, it's more of a struggle. Sabi ko rin kay Direk, ng first day ko, we shot it was my first day, yung death scene ko, that was my first day. And I completely don't know Reb. Wala akong background sa kanya. So we had to shoot the final day of Reb, which is hard. So again, hindi na ako nag-isip siguro masyado mentally, but we had to study, especially the effects of meth. We had to give justice to how, the withdrawals, the gestures, the mannerisms and stuff. Siguro mas more physically. And it's tiring, I have to say it. It's tiring, it's dirty, but it's fun. And ako, na-enjoy ko lang din yung proseso. At the same time, I'm doing something that matagal ko nang gustong ipaglaban. And I was just scared. Duwag lang din ako. Pero gusto ko lumaban, just like Reb. So he's just scared. He's scared, but he knows when to fight. Yeah.
Thank you, and congratulations for taking on the role. And now we are opening the floor to your questions.
Hello po. Ay, congratulations po. Question ko po kay Direk. Direk, ano lang po, marami pong platform na pwede mag-generate ng income yung project. Bakit po sa YouTube?
One, it's really the accessibility ng YouTube. With a material such as this, which is nabanggit nga natin kanina na very sensitive, very polarizing. We think yung YouTube yung perfect platform for it, where people easily can find it, and with your help, ma-amplify pa, people can see it, and we see the engagements ng tao. Makapag-comment ka, magkakaroon ng conversation, like we said, and yun yung pinakamahalaga sa amin as creators, as storytellers, makita, makuha, mapanood.
Last po, since accessible po yung yung series sa YouTube, maganda rin po yung numbers. Nakita ko po kanina, tinignan ko po, nasa for 13 days na may almost 400,000 views na po. And ano po siya, true to life story. Nakatanggap na po ba tayo ng negative from the past administration? Comments from them? Or anyone, supporters from them?
Madami. But we encourage that. Again, sinabi ko kanina, it's not for a specific group. It's not for a specific political leaning. It's for everyone. And yung engagements na yon, again, makakatulong dun sa conversation, sa pagkikipag-usap, sa pagtingin sa mga panibagong perspektibo. And may matututunan tayo sa bawat perspective na yan, I feel.
Hindi naman po negative sobra sa page. Yung, wala po kayo natanggap na super negative or any, ano po pwede nyo i-share?
Negative. Ayun.
From them.
Wala lang mga specific right now, but yeah. Yun. Alam mo na yun. Anything na pwedeng i-maibat about the story.
Okay, thank you po.
Thank you.
Hello po, good evening. Ako po si Gabe, isa po akong content creator. Bago po itanong yung tanong ko, gusto ko lang pong i-express yung appreciation ko sa writers, sa directors, sa mga actors. Thank you for giving the victims and the families of the victims humanity. I wouldn't even say justice, pero like humanity, I think that's what the most important thing is lacking sa portrayal ng mga ganitong klaseng polarizing na mga depiction of what happened during 2016 to 2022. Two-part question lang po for the artists and the writers and kay Direk po. Was there, I think na-touch on na din naman ni Harvey kanina, was there any ounce of hesitance when you were taking on this project, specifically to the actors, given as we know, the society that we have, especially the clamor within social media and how passionate people can be with their political leanings. Ako bilang content creator, it tends to scare away the people that you want in your corner, especially when you're vocal with the things that you want to fight for. Bilang mga artista, dala ng kung paano natin nakikita yung mga common artista ngayon na aren't really that vocal with the way they lean towards their political leanings. Ano yung mga hurdles na harapan mo, nyo, bilang mga artista na kukunin ko ba to? Baka may matakot na brand sa akin kung kinuha ko tong project na to. Yun po, first part question. Thank you so much po.
I think the fear of losing possible brand deals is very first of all, it's a valid fear because it is work, diba? We all need to work. But I think if your concern is losing a brand deal over being part of a group of people presenting something you believe that is important, I think something went wrong on your way to where you are now. Kasi what we do as artists, yung output namin as artists is a reflection on the things that we believe in. For me personally, the only hesitance that I had for this project is making sure that we are able to tell the story right. And what I mean by right is being able to lay out all of the perspectives. And yun nga, what the one answer that I always go back to when trying to describe the show is, it is a war show war projects or war stories are usually always about the people in between the bullets that are being fired, and that's what the show is, right? So the only hesitance that I had is I hope we get to tell the story right. But in terms of joining and as much as possible getting the show out there was no hesitance on my end talaga. Though that fear of of the brands and everything, that is valid. It doesn't make you any less of an artist. It's just if you're starting to, for me personally, if you're starting to focus on that more than the message that you can be helping put out there, then I think
That
you
gives
can
me
evaluate some stuff.
That gives me so much hope, Harvey. Salamat.
Thank you.
I actually asked that question for the perspective of galing sa mga artista kasi I think I have a fair share of sharing my unsolicited opinions on social media. My second question is that as we see the numbers sa YouTube po na nakikita na ng common masses itong drug war, what's your intended impact while you were writing the story, while you were doing the actor work, once this gets through the audience na pro drug war campaign, for example? Because I think more than anything, while we are in the pursuit of truth, I think they should be at the receiving end. Sila yung, I think, dapat na maging target demographic ng show na to kasi it shows so much humanity for people that we treat as animals, addicts, di ba? People struggling with the disease of addiction. So what is your intended impact kapag kunwari isa akong pro-drug war supporter? What do you want out of it pagkatapos ng lahat when everything is said and done? Thank you po.
Thank you. We go back to showing the different perspectives. Kagaya ng sinabi mo, to show the humanity nitong mga kwento ng mga tao na to na naipit sa crossfire ng gera. And somehow to find themselves also in those characters. Kasi lahat tayo anak, lahat tayo na pwedeng naging magulang, lahat tayo may kakilala. And through that, somehow, pag nakita, baka maapektuhan, maapektuhan, mas mabuksan yung mata, mas maisip, mas makinig, pagkipag-usap, conversation, baka doon, maybe that's the first step towards yung hinahanap natin lahat na healing, and we can move on from what happened.
Okay, so first on the question of the hesitation, there was none on my part. I don't have any kids. No brands are after this face, so I'm. There's no doubts, no hesitation. Plus, it's a complex story about a complex situation with complex characters. So it's like a writer's wet dream. So it's really the sort of thing you professionally hope to come across instead of the usual rote entertainment stuff. On the question of impact, what impact we wanted, I think Direk Shug already touched on it. Mainly we wanted the conversation. That's why we wanted characters that felt human, that felt rounded out, characters with different perspectives, different joys, different desires, different fears. And because we believe that it is in having these conversations that you eventually come to a perspective or a sliver of truth that you would otherwise not have if you have stayed in your little bubble, no matter what side you're coming from.